see that behind me, I'm happy that we have Alstom, a French company, AREP, a French company, and at least the SNCF group, which is one of the best and well-known company, French again. So I put this Eiffel Tower in my bag, and the whole issue will be how we make the city successful, how we bring the railway station to boost Paris cities, something we are doing here in Dubai as well. If you move forward, this tower is a place of flow, a lot of traffic flow, tourism, people walking around. So today we have almost 7 million people who visit this tower every day. On those 7 million, we have almost 150 who pass by the ground, so we need to take care about them. We have almost 110 who go straight under the Eiffel Towers. We have 30s who go on the garden around, and then 20,000 people who go inside this building, this monument every single day. Give you an idea about how we need to think about the transportation master planning in the cities. So this Eiffel Tower make part of what makes Paris the favorite city, and also the Chamber of Commerce of Monza tried to do an evaluation to know exactly how is the value of these towers. But it's not simply the Eiffel Tower, it's the value of all the neighborhoods activity around. So basically, the Monza come back saying that these towers mean something like 435 billion US dollar as a value. Then how we can transform this value, monetize it, and increase the cities and make the city some place where people will love and come. This become an issue. So we have, it means that Paris will ask for an instant cash of 435 billion US dollar if someone needs to make a deal. Did say a lot about the value the city can get out of the traffic magnet, which means in Dubai, there can be something we can think about how the train station, railway station will become a magnet and bring value to the city of Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or most of the GCC countries. So we'll come back to these numbers later on. Transit-oriented development, key word in the country now, where we have two key players in the country. One is RTA, and the second one is Dubai Municipality. Question mark. Both of them say, okay, we need to develop some transit-oriented development in the cities, and Dubai Municipality think about how to do the global master planning, integrating the city of Dubai, Silicon Oasis, Academic City, Marina, GLT, to make a success district. Whereby RTA is thinking about, oh, we have 47 stations, and we are going to develop 47 TOD. So the idea is we cannot develop 47, and we as SNCF group, composed of AREP, Keolis, Gares Connexions, etc. Most of you, we all know that it's proven solution to congestion, and we know how costly the congestion can be. So we do some exercise in-house, and so now here in Dubai, a city with one car and for two people, drivers spend almost 1 hour and 36 minutes a day on congestion, which is something, if you can convert and monetize, can bring some value. So the idea is how we can change those almost 42 days work per person per day spent on the traffic. So we know that we spend almost 42 days per year on the traffic. So this is where we need to implement to increase this traffic and bring those things to like a money investment. So if we make a calculation as a AREP, we do a calculation where we add the cost of the fuel into the equation. Then in addition, we figure out that we contribute to almost 4.6 billion dirham loss for the cities, which is almost 1.25 billion US dollar. The idea comes to the city saying that how I can take those 1.6 billion dirham and to generate some project and to improve the cities and the inhabitants. This is where we need to think about how to make people happy in the city by taking those laws and transform them in some point, something we can take to improve the way people live in the cities. So we have three ideas. We know that the consequences to congestion is human sprawl, so go way beyond the local economic potential. It has a real impact on health, public health, also in energy consumption. So we need to reduce energy consumption and then increase the health of people. then at the end of the story, we see that a city that is resilient to change, that can support sustainable economic growth and offer quality of living to the people living in the cities. Key issue, economic growth and quality of living and happiness. Those three factors will help us to develop more projects for the cities. This is where we come back to the title of this program called Multi-Hub or Railway Station as a City Booster. How? By playing with all those master plans with tram, metro, rapid transit, to boost the cities, make the city more attractive to the tourism or people living inside. So we call it multi-modal hub. So this TOD is now how to build those cities. Of course, multi-modal hubs are the very core of the transit-oriented development. They are what give TOD the structural around. But if we think about the TOD, it's only a question of theory. We need to move to the practical situations. In the real world, building efficiency multimodal hub is a very complex and expensive, and the success is never guaranteed. You cannot say, I'm going to develop a TOD at this point and guarantee that it's going to be successful. You need to have some feasibility study done, make sure that you do all the stakeholders together, and address something which is how I'm going to make the people living in the community happy. As soon as those people living around are happy, then you can have some success. But it's not another way around. This is why you need to have a consultant with you to do all those studies ahead of the events. Next slide is saying that how to maximize the value of money. So what does it mean is to think about the multimodal hub in terms of value for money. What can we do to maximize the value and deliver a benefit at the lower cost? Always normal project management and program management. Then we have a real fact to show you now. Most of the people know this building, which is on Los Angeles called Anaheim Regional Transit Intermodal City, AREP. And they spent almost $200 million to develop this nice building. Sure, it's a nice building. Architecture is done there. But the price tag was almost $200 million for the construction. After 3 years, they still have only 5,000 passengers a day, which means 50%, half of their expectation is a big flop. But if you see, we discussed a few times ago saying that we need to have a right sizing. Here we go. We are French, and proud to say we are a French company, SNCF, and we did similar business in Brittany. And the spend was almost like, we cannot say we cannot have an oyster restaurant inside, but it's a TOD. But the hub will build last year in Brittany. In the western part of France, we spent almost 15 million US dollars, which is 12 times less than what we have in Los Angeles, and is taking part of 2,000 passengers a day. It's worked better than Arctic. So this is where we think that if you put in place the key players on each sector, you have a big project, and you put in slice. So we have an architect, design, retail developers, all those key players. You put them together in one group called SNCF Group, you can be successful. It's a success. So we have a programmation, which is something new in the country, whereby so I'm going to have a building or TOD, I need to have a program. What I'm doing for the community before you jump. It's not the other way around. And then also you have all the feasibility study done before you launch any tender, each work. What I'm going to do for the communities. Get architects, engineers, retailers, developers, and operators together. First, one group as SNCF Group, and then think about what we can generate for the communities. If you've reached the point, you have the program, and then the feasibility, then you launch it, then it becomes always a success. So the sizing, what size of project I have for which community? If I'm talking about doing the program for GLT, Marina, Silicon Oasis, academic cities, or whatever it is, we are not talking about this copy-paste program. Something must be specific for each district. So the question is, right, how I can make something the right sizing? So we call it right size. The second key principle of maximizing value for money is building sustainable business model for the multimodal hubs. Business model, key players. In order to do this, we need to identify all potential revenue streams and way to capture part of the value generated by the hub to create these virtuous cycles. It's a cycle between shareholders. We are not doing the same thing, so we all need to have our role to play to generate revenue. First one is saying that all the program you are doing must be around the users, because the revenues come from the users. So we can say down, if we manage, giving the transport operator a functional efficiency, we enable them to provide the user with a smooth travel experiences. So travel is there. By enabling smooth travel experiences, then for public transport, user will help to create a city preference for public transport. By building again the preference for public transport, we grow the passenger flow that we turn into opportunity for the business partner, which means that all those key factors around the user will generate more business for us. Eventually, value for money is maximized when value creation is maximized for all the stakeholders. If you have a group of 4 or 5 companies delivering a project, and only 1 or 2 are making the profit, it doesn't work. So as I told you, if you have these slides, we need to make sure that all the stakeholders have the same objective, same revenue generation project. Next one, we are in the UAE, where we need to be faster and seamless travel to bring people less moving from the car to the public transportation. So we save our traveler time and provide them with a smooth, seamless travel experiences. This contributes to overall attractiveness of the public transport, something we are doing in Dubai. If you read last week or 2 weeks back, His Excellency Mata Altayer's speech about the RTA traffic increase, you can see that we are increasing almost by double digit, attracting people to use the Dubai metro, etc. So we need to continue like that. To continue those kind of simulation or project, then the only one way to have all those UAV or GCC decision maker team up with all those key players as an engineer, architect, to make sure that what we are doing is aligned with how we are going and which objective we want to bring to the city of Dubai as well. Now we come to one of the key points where SNCF is almost the well-known company to do all those simulation in the, worldwide, and financial simulation is. Today, if we invest about €1, which is about 4-point-something dirham in France, it generates almost €5, 20 plus dirham, which means SNCF Group today is able to tell you that any project we have in hand, the investment of 1 or 4 dirham should generate about 22 dirham plus. It's a fact. We can visit our site. We have projects ongoing in China, in Paris. It's a fact. Then the question is, what to do with those 22 dirham? The question will come back later. It's not because we make 22 dirham, then we take the money and we run away. It's a question of how to be sustainable, to have a perpetual investment, to improve the solution so you get more users. So every time we create 1 job on any project or transit-oriented development, then we create 5 jobs on the neighborhood. The question is, we don't make a confusion. We don't create 5 jobs inside the train station or the mobility point, but all the shops and retails around or the tenant real estate, which means you invest 4 dirham, you generate 22, you create 1 job, you create 5 around, which means you have 4 people who are going to use more the public transport, buy ticket, buy something in the shops. This is the way. But the question is, don't take the 22 and then run away. We call the perpetual virtuous cycle will come. All of our SNCF Group strategy is around those cycles here. The idea we have in mind is, which is proven, we test it everywhere, is this cycle is, we call it virtuous cycle. Question is, by focusing on creating value, we create this cycle. Investing in the hub improves transport efficiency, point 1. You can take all the pictures. It works fine because we have it for almost 10 years. And we think that if we invest heavily, then a better transport brings more travelers, which means if we improve the transport efficiency, for sure that we get more travelers using the system. Then if you have more travelers, that means we're going to have more people spending time on the retail area of the transportation. Then if we have more people, we have increased the spending. We have more revenue coming, and then we have a new revenue stream, and then we close the loop. The question is, those scenarios need to follow the concession period, which means if we manage to make the first year maybe something like 2 billion dirham, we don't start distributing dividend. We take the 2 billion dirham, we reinvest again to improve the transportation efficiencies, So we get more people, more users, and then we add more retailers. Maybe phase one, we have mid-sized retail, and phase two, we have more high-end retailers. So we increase the consumption, and then they increase the revenue stream, and then inject again. At some point that we can distribute the dividend only maybe after 4 rounds. We have the case today, if you take Dubai Mall, for example, they open a new area of Dubai Mall by injecting more revenue to get more end people inside. So we bring more users, more spending. So the key issue is to have a success project in Dubai, this cycle. If you follow this cycle with people who know what they are doing, like SNCF Group, then we have a success project. So we come to real number as well. We have one we have done in Paris a few years ago when everybody thinks that we are going to a kind of win-win solution, and no one thinks that it's going to be successful when we use this virtual cycle to build Paris Saint-Lazare. And the total cost of this project was almost 250 for the total cost. This example of Paris Saint-Lazare is striking. We work hand in hand with the business partners. Your question is how we convince the business partner to come with us. We work with the retailers, and we integrate on our plan all the neighborhoods, people who are living around, a lot of meetings, stakeholder meetings, and we involve the local authorities, which in the case for in Dubai municipalities, to create this multimedia hub in the center of the city, downtown Paris. By having a clear business opportunity based on those virtuous cycles, 60% of the investment have been taken by our business partners. To attract the business partner, you need to have a program. If the program is well-sized, you will have all the investors coming to you. You don't need to do an investment too as well. This allows us to get business partners to fund 60% of the total investment. It proves a huge success, not only in terms of return on investment, but for the business partner as well. But it's also increased the passenger satisfaction by 20% on our stations, and create economic activity in the whole neighborhoods, and now use a role model as something standard everyone is using. Basically, I'm going to say that we need to have something which is, we need to make sure that the infra we are putting in place is sustainable, resilient to change, because we are in the country where we need to play with the climate, and then dramatic change, which is fine. And this is where our integrated experience as an architect, AREP as an architect, Gares and Connexions as a retail developers, KOLIs for facility management, SNCF Group, bring and add value, and are able to deploy a different approach for all of the projects we are developing here to improve and give you some economical flavor when we are developing a project. So as a conclusion, I will say that this famous SNCF group people are talking about is not only SNCF. Inside, we have AREP, which is a group of architects working for RTA today. We have Gares and Connexions, which is a retail operator. We have KOLIs for facility management. All of together, we develop something to make your project successful. So I will be stopping here because the flag is red almost. And I will thank Ashif for the delay because ICOM is coming for the lunch. And if you want to visit us, we are just next outside here on the booth C30 with all of our senior managers. We can discuss all the projects we have, even the TOD, railway station, trams, bus, high-speed transit, everything we have. We can discuss with you and see how we can help, how we can support you on your next project to come in the GCC area. Then. Thank you for listening to us. Then.